Hello, hello, hello. This is Antoine PurpleFireCrow. I'm really excited, happy to be alive today. This week, there's been a lot of struggle. You know, people want to focus on the auditory. You know, I'm tired of focusing on the inability. Why are we so boxed to the mechanical aspects of the ears? You know, people are asking, how much can you hear? That's not necessary. I'm so happy that I'm survived this week, and hopefully people are waking up. You know, wake up, deaf, woke. That's what's here today. So today's October 29th, getting closer to Halloween. I'm not that type of brother who celebrates Halloween. It scares the stuff out of me. Halloween is scary for me. You know, all those who do celebrate Halloween, cool. You're braver than me. Today, we got my brother, and then we haven't actually met in person yet. And it's time to get to know him. We got Rodney. I'm getting ahead of myself because of my excitement. I want to invite on the interpreters. Hello, interpreters. There's Jay. We have Kat. So Jay will, as you can see, he's assigned to I as my interpreter. Thank you so much for providing your time to the deaf community. We appreciate you. Peace. Okay, so Kat will be the interpreter speaking for Rodney. So let's go ahead and invite our guests. So again, our guest is Rodney Burford. He is a junior at Gallaudet University, studying psychology. Woo! He's also a football player at Gallaudet. Some of you guys may recognize he was on Netflix, Deaf U. But he's also human. So some people will recognize that smile for sure. So I've invited him to our show today. So Rodney, what's up? You here?
Yeah. What's up?
What's up? What's good?
Yeah, nothing much. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Same old. Like a college student, college life, you know. It's virtual, but you know, which is sometimes kind of frustrating, but I'm doing it.
Oh, all the classes are virtual?
Yep.
So I want to go back up a little bit. So you're attending Gallaudet University.
Mm-hmm.
What did life look like before Gallaudet? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up Main Street. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
New York.
Yeah, NYC. And I did not have, what would you call it? What do I want to say? I did not have, you know, I had mom and dad, and they could do so much for me. But in terms of going to college, I said that I wanted to go to college, and so they wanted me to. And you know, I didn't really have much ambition at the time myself. But thanks to my mom and thanks to my dad, you know, they sent me to school. The MSSD, Gallaudet, right over there, right next to me.
Yeah. You know, some people may not know you as much. You know, the fact that we just met.
Yeah.
We never met before.
Right.
This is our first conversation. First time ever. We're having it something raw. I know nothing about you. I've only heard or seen what was on Netflix, but you know, from my own two eyes, I've never seen or know you.
No,
so thank you. Are you the only deaf member in the family?
Mm-hmm. Only one in a deaf family. It was amazing at first. Let me backtrack. It was good. It was good. Excuse me, that was my sister who just passed by.
I got you, man. I got you.
My family always had the support, you know, but they don't sign, and that and I need to find a way to connect with me. I had to, and that taught me. To that end, they taught me how to speak well. And that was when I was 6 years old, and I got put into speech therapy and all that, you know, went through that whole thing. And then later on in my in my 8th year, I realized that I am a deaf person. And then they've been so supportive of me during that transition in my life to understanding my deafness and finding my identity. I'm a deaf person. Yes, I am. And even though I can function pretty well in the hearing world, you know, I do recognize that I have that privilege. I do know I have that hearing privilege.
Okay, yeah. So you weren't involved much in the deaf community before Gallaudet?
No, before high school. I was like, I would speak all the time. People would say yes, and I'd say, oh yes, I'm deaf. And they're like, do you sign? And I would just be able to sign yes, but you know, I couldn't, but I really couldn't sign. Couldn't, you know, do some bad ASL. I couldn't do that. So, you know, it's just, yeah. And then I had to just throw that part out.
Yeah, now, man, you're just heavily fluent. You know, so yeah, you know, college, you know, getting in to the hearing world, trying to navigate that with the interpreters. So what's up? Why did you want to attend Gallaudet?
My identity, you know, wasn't going to let me go to a regular university because what I was thinking, I could deal with a hearing university, use my cochlear implant, depend on an interpreter, all that kind of thing. But there's a university specifically for me. So why not? You know, I was like talking about what, you know, that's what I'm talking about. And it doesn't make sense for me to go to a hearing university. It don't make no sense at all.
Yeah, you know, when trying to learn and absorb through an interpreter, you know, there's always that struggle. You're learning from an interpreter. You're learning from the hearing community. You know, it's not easy working with an interpreter. And it requires a lot of work. You're taking the responsibilities of college courses. What did your first day look like attending Gallaudet? Was it just like, was it mind blowing? What was the first day? Can you describe that? Do you remember that?
Social wise, it was perfect. You know, I knew half of the people there already. I knew who they were, and that was all right. I felt like a good match, a good connection. But let me tell you, I have to remember thinking about that first day of school in class. I said, I raised my hand. I said, you have to go to the bathroom. And they said, just go. And I was just like, okay. So I was used to the way it was in high school. I graduated from my school, and then Gallaudet was the next place that I went to, and they didn't really connect to each other. So, and then there was a winter break that I had gone and visited there. But so the 2 weeks break, I still had a high school mentality when I went into college and when I went into Gallaudet, still thinking about that, you know, like being sneaky and stuff like that, that I get in trouble for. And they're like, you live here, you're here. So my first week was pretty good and pretty okay, you know, so it was a good experience for me.
Yeah, you know, I remember, oh crap, I'm an adult now. I mean, I can stay up all night. I can do this, I can do that. I don't have to get permission from my mom. I don't have to call my parents anymore. You know, to get that liberty. That means I can go to the bathroom anytime I want. I don't have to wait until somebody, you know, directs me to go to class. Oh, okay.
Yes, it was like, how do I put this? But I don't, it's how it hit me. But with support, what it looked like, I realized that I had to budget on my own. Nobody tells me what you have to buy your own clothes. Nobody tells you what to do, stuff like that. I have to figure it out on my own. I had to plan my day out. You know, when I'm going to do laundry, when I'm going to do something, and realize that I'm responsible for all that now, and that I had to plan my day. And other than that, you know, that first week was a little bit tough just because I was just trying to find a place to fit.
Yeah, so you adapted. I got you. How did you, is that your name sign, right? Yeah?
Yep.
How did you get that name sign?
Okay, so before when I was at MSSD, before I was in mainstream school, so people would talk and they would, people there, they would sign to me a little bit, and then they would come to me, and it was like just went past me, you know. I'd smile and I'd nod, and so it's clearly I didn't understand what they're saying. I'd smile and I'd nod, and so that stuck. That sign of the whole thing going past my mind and me missing it entirely because I didn't understand.
Yeah, I got it. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first day at Gallaudet, you know, where's the sign language coming from? So just vibrant. So before you attended Gallaudet University, did you play football? Did you play sports in high school, or did you just jump right in? You're playing for Gallaudet University, right?
I played for Gallaudet University, and in high school, I played everything. I played football, I played basketball, wrestling, track. What else? I never imagined that I would be in a school play, but I was in a school play, and yeah, you know, it was a pretty it's a pretty good experience.
The reason why I asked is because of the levels of communication going from high school, and then you're going to Gallaudet that can sign.
Are you talking about in high school? Or are you talking about?
Yeah, high school versus Gallaudet.
Well, the difference between it, I think, communicating with your eyes.
You know, the communication that some people may or may not realize. You know, in high school, you know, in the training room.
Oh yeah,
now, you know, in college, you're responsible for you know.
Okay, yeah, now I understand. So in high school, everything was so. The system was working for me. The system was working for me. They said you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. So, but when when the coaches would have to kind of shift the language down for me to be able to understand a little more clearly. So when I got into Gallaudet, I'm telling you,
5 a.m. workouts?
5 a.m. workouts, yes. You know, I used I'd be rolling in there at 5 o'clock, trying to get myself strong, and then 5:30, then I get ready, and then there'd be a meeting in the morning. There'd be meetings during the day. There'd be plans made during class. You know, you'd have to study the films. You know, the football films. You have to study those, and just football is like a responsibility in college. Football's for real. It is in high school. It's a game. You're just playing. You're just hanging out. You're playing, and it's all right. You know, but everything, I had to like get that through my head that in college, football was for real, you know, and I couldn't do it on my own. And the coach will talk to you like a man too. The coach, you know, he talk to you like a man. You have to hear that. You have to be there for that. You know, you couldn't say, don't be talking like that. He talked to you like a man, so you have to take it like a man.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to you like a man.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, you can't run to your parents. Your parents ain't there to protect you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that pressure, you know, with school and all the other elements, socializing, you know, socializing with your team, socializing with members outside of your team. You know, that journey of trying to identify who you are.
To identify yourself before that.
Did you know who you were before? Did you identify as deaf, hard of hearing?
I have always known that I was deaf. I've always known that I was deaf. First, you're hard of hearing. I never called myself hard of hearing. I called myself deaf.
Deaf. Okay.
And it's different. Knowing myself as a deaf person, I identified myself as deaf. But not a lot before I went to school there. And I didn't behave like a deaf person. I didn't really use my eyes the way deaf people do. I still depended on my hearing. You know, if people could talk to me, I could get it. If I looked you right in the face, I could get you. You know, but and so I could make do with that. So, and because my family was hearing, I kind of got on that role, and that's what I did when I was with them. But when I went to Gallaudet, I realized that, you know, I'm just going to be here. I'm going to be deaf. I'm going to be here. I don't need things to depend on. And so if I use my CI, that's my choice. If I want to use my cochlear implant, that's my choice. I don't have to, because somebody's going to be talking to me at Gallaudet, because ain't nobody going to be talking to me at Gallaudet. Everybody's signing, you know, so that's what's going on there. And before Gallaudet and before school, I didn't really identify myself as strongly deaf.
I remember you said, you know, it took you some time to kind of develop that sign language. Now are you kind of deep rooted since you've been at Gallaudet? So it's been interesting, that development. So that's interesting that when you arrived at Gallaudet, you kind of just immersed yourself right into the community.
Yeah, the Gallaudet community, some people can be very, very harsh.
Yeah, harsh, okay.
Can be very harsh. That they don't understand that deaf people are people too. You know, just because you're deaf doesn't mean, you know, everyone has a different background. Everybody has a different history. And like talking about the melting pot of the deaf community at Gallaudet University, one thing that interested me is that white people have more access to Gallaudet University than people who look like me. But, you know, Gallaudet people would go and have conversations and advertise for Gallaudet University. So so we didn't have the opportunity as often as white people did. Black people didn't, I feel. And so.
So you said it seems like white has more access. So I've seen that your shirt says "Still Black, Still Proud." So yeah.
Like so busy.
I mean, you're so busy.
Yeah, you
know, you're busy trying to be deaf, but then you're busy trying to be black. Is that true for you?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
No, I never had
I don't have a problem with that.
You know, that black strength, huh?
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, and there weren't really any white people in my neighborhood where I grew up. So going into the school for the deaf was a big culture shock for me, because all of a sudden I'm like, here, I got to navigate all of this, my culture, where I came from. But that culture they never really tried to change me. I don't feel like they tried to change me. And of course, you know, I did, you know, I would say, I feel like I'm supposed to do this. You know, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to do me and pass and keep moving on and not try to pass, because here I am, and I'm a black person. So I don't have to change anything inside me to pass.
So you didn't really try to, you didn't really try to adapt to somebody else, and you just kept being who you were. So no, what are you studying at Gallaudet?
I'm studying psychology right now. I aim to be a sports psychologist, and that's what I want to do when I graduate. When I graduate with my BA degree in psychology, I want to transition to get a master's degree in sports medicine, and then maybe go on to get a PhD or a PsyD for psychology, and then become a sports psychologist and try to help athletes the same way that you would help regular people, and just trying to be their best. Athletes have issues, they have problems, they have anxiety, they have depression, they have issues that everybody has, and they get ignored because people look up to them and think, oh, they're athletes, they're all right, you're fine. But often then they're human beings too, and we are human beings too, and they think just because we're skilled athletes, we don't have those issues to work through.
So my question is that, have you seen a lot of people who are kind of ignored? Do you find yourself trying to assist?
Yes, I do see that. Yes, but it's not necessarily harmful. It's the way that society is built by itself. Let me ask you something.
Ask me, come on.
Okay, often when the NFL players make mistakes, DUI, get busted for weed, and that kind of thing. Now the NFL players, what happens is that people are like, well, you're worth $1 million, and they think all you have to do is stop smoking weed. It's simple for you. You make $1 million, and just assuming that it's something easy for them just because they're in the NFL and because they're making bank. But they're under a spotlight 24/7. Under that spotlight 24/7, and people make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes. And how many times have you heard of a drunk driving accident? I mean, with not even pertinent to anything else. Do you think those people are the same in the NFL? That's normal. And so, like those players in the MFL, that amplifies. It's like, oh my gosh, he got a DUI. When people get the stigma, they should be perfect. And you're supposed to be role models as people. There's a lot of pressure on that. As the NFL, we role models as people, but there's somebody behind them. Not nobody behind them going, are you okay? Are you okay? Take care of yourself and don't focus on those other people with their negativity.
Did you have that type of support for yourself?
My father was that for me. My father.
Yeah, my father didn't grow up in my life. My mom, my taught me everything. She taught me how to.
Oh, yes. That's proper. Your mama. Yes. Honor that.
Yes. That's where I get my strength from. Some people who don't have a father, I think it's fascinating, your journey of wanting to become a psychologist, and the journey of getting that deaf culture, the signing.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have that support. You're going to be a deaf NBA deaf NBA player, and that person will have so spotlight heavily on that person, but forget that person's human. Maybe you'll be there to sign. Maybe you'll be there to support. There's a deaf pro athlete.
Nobody will mess with my clients. Let me tell you that. Ain't nobody gonna be messing with my clients.
Cool. Some people were talking to me. Gallaudet's a beautiful place, but it's a tough to socialize. And then get that information maybe from that Netflix and then there's a lot of oppression, a lot of pressure, a lot of peer pressure. We won't address that.
What do you feel about that?
I want to hear from you. How do you feel about that show?
Okay. How I feel about it? I feel like I'm getting my story out. I know I'm very privileged. I have 2 parents. I have a nice house, thank God. Thank God for my parents. They're smart, they're well educated. I feel it's amazing that I have the opportunity to get my story out. However, with those things, that doesn't mean that I don't have my own struggles with self-worth, self-identity. And I know there are people who have all kinds of things going on who are often misperceived, you know, and sometimes it's not really who I am, you know, and I just, you know, just realizing that people have problems, that I have problems, and just being able to express the things that I have. But in this show, in general, what can I say? It's reality TV. It's reality TV. I'm just saying it, you know. And what that is
Come
what
on, come on. Yeah, I mean, I can hear you, even though I got these deaf ears, baby. I can see you.
So the show's cool. It's cool, but it would be much better if we had someone that was one of the strongest people on the planet. We need a strong Black woman. We need a strong Black woman. Black women are already strong. They're already powerful. And we really need to show that on the show. You know, we need to show, you know, there's a lot of Black oppression, but, you know, the women get oppressed in twice as many ways, doubly oppressed. You know, I think that, you know, they always talk about, you know, behind a good Black man, a good Black woman, but you don't need to be behind anymore. You know, for me, I think the Black woman, especially my mom, Black women have helped me. Nobody messed with my mom. Did I say the word? I said the F word, but don't tell nobody. But nobody messed with my mom. You know, Black women are so strong. And so I want to see that in the show. I want to show that. I want that to be present. Just, you know, just everything that needs to be present about that needs to be there.
You know, almost you that was a perfect segue. I was about to ask what was missing. Right, Black women.
Michelle Obama.
You know, we see Obama, but I'm thinking we should see Michelle. I'm thinking of, ooh, Michelle. Wow.
Oh, she
is a great role.
Yeah.
We talk about strength, yeah.
We
always talk, where's the Black woman's voice?
Always saving us.
You know, Black women always saving us. You know what I mean? It's interesting. We're supposed to be the rock in the quote unquote foundation. I mean, we're supposed to be the strength. You know, but the yin and yang. You know, the full holistic aspect can't have one without the other. But you're right. You know, one of the strongest people on the planet. You know, my mom. She's a single mom.
Yeah, see, that's it. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, generally we're speaking about, you know, all women out there. What's your perspective about? You know, does Rodney, you know, the question is, does Rodney have respect for women?
I have so much respect for women. It's just like, I'm a very unorthodox man, I think. And
I get it.
I flirt, but I make sure that it's not something that's going to cause some trouble. You know, when I'm trying something, say, "You okay with that?" You know, get that consent. You know, I want to flirt. I don't want things to be awkward in situations, so I just make sure that my intention is clear. And for me, the way I am and how I treat women and the way I am toward women, it's that women come to me, you know, sometimes. And so it's how women are to me that's important as well. But with that being said, even if something doesn't work out in a relationship or in the flirtation with this person, that's okay. There's like no animosity. You do your own thing, I do my own thing. If we happen to break up and not be together, and if we can still be good, we want to be good with each other, no matter what happens. we shared a connection, and that's important. We share a connection, and we honor that connection we share, no matter what happens afterwards.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about communication, making sure we're on the same.
Yes,
same
I admit it, but I have to admit I haven't always had the best communication.
At least you're admitting it, that sometimes you're not the best with communication, and you're trying to build that communication. You're trying to move forward. Sometimes you go backwards. Sometimes you go forward. Yeah, I get you, man. My communication isn't always strong as well.
And for me, it's not, because I could go through the whole day and just like move on through the day and not think much of it, not think much of my behavior or how I am or whatever. I just don't think much about it. I'm just going through my day. I'm doing fine. Everything is right. And then somebody will say, "What are you doing?" And I'll just go, let me think back. And really, there's this list of things that are on my mind that I realize. I think that my problem is that I don't think much of what I do. I just kind of like go ahead and do whatever it is in that moment to do.
So that perspective that was provided as deaf you, are you the same person that was reflected in deaf you that you are now?
I think I might be an overconfident person.
The deaf you, Rodney.
Yeah.
Confidence level now.
Yeah. I'm an overconfident person. Not me, myself, but in the show, yes. I talk a lot of stuff, but actually I have some stuff inside me I'm working on.
It didn't show much about how much you love your family. It touched a little bit on it, but family is a critical essence for you. Like you have that family. I know you might be deaf, but we're together. Much respect with missing that content about the deaf or having that Black woman not featured. We don't see that often. I wish the show, if the show could show more of you, what would you wish it would show?
I'm not a perfect man, so I don't really believe in crying in front of people. But I would say that Niall has helped me a lot. He's helped me a lot. He's very behind the scenes, and I admit that there was a while where he wasn't feeling me. He would text me and ask me if I was okay and talk to me. So he had time to actually sit down and text me. So I felt like that was some respect. Yeah. And I wanted that he gave me the support that I needed. So really having that perspective, I feel like I don't really have a specific perspective that I want highlighted about me there. That family part, that family is me, I joke around a lot, but that family is the real part of me that I'm connected to. And that's something that shows who I am.
Really? Okay.
But also, I admit, I'm a little bit fresh. I've had to have, have my mouth washed out with soap because I'm a little bit fresh.
I know. So you're heavily involved in sports. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I was about to text you.
Somebody calling me. Who calling me? Oh, I'm sorry.
So as I was saying earlier, with being involved in the team, I don't know if you've seen the National Black Deaf Advocates. How do you feel about that organization? Oh, somebody's calling him.
I'm gonna tell them I'm sorry. I'm busy right now.
Sorry, people.
I'm on a call right now. Text me later.
Man, it's that world problems, yeah. So my question for you, NBDA, National Black Deaf Advocates, you know about that, yeah?
Of course.
Were you involved in that organization?
I was involved in before I went to Gallaudet.
Really?
I used to work under it because part of my job, they say, Rodney, get over here. And I'm like, oh, they say, go to the one in Brooklyn. It's a rich experience. I also want to say, in school, I was in junior BDA. I was the president of junior BDA when I was a kid. Junior BDA, Junior Black Deaf Advocates, at my school. And so I was the president. So yes, I was involved.
You know, we got to always support our deaf Black people. And that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can, be involved as much as I can. You know, that didn't, you know, something would have been awesome to be able to show. There's a lot of beautiful Black people there. That leadership. You know, one of your leaders that you look up to. Is that right?
There are so many Black deaf leaders out there, you know, that often they're very overlooked, though. Dr. Harrison, we have, wish I could think of, I'm sorry, my mind just flew out of my mind. Glenn Anderson, just, you know, we got a lot of leaders out there. You know, there's a whole list of really positive Black deaf leaders out there.
So I just have a few more questions. I got a lot of people texting me.
That's all right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
They're texting me. They're asking, do you feel responsible as a man and as a leader?
Now, yes, I do. I do have a responsibility to stand up for women. I do, and to respect women, and because I was raised by a strong woman. She was an incredible woman. I was raised by a strong woman. The second thing is I do feel responsible because I am a man, you know, and I have male privilege, and I have to acknowledge that. And, you know, and men tend in so many ways not to, when it comes to issues like this, we don't listen to women, you know, and women are entitled to have their feelings. And we have to, and it's not up to us to make a decision for them. It's up to us to listen to them and work on this process and work on this progress. So I do feel like I have a responsibility, like you said, to listen to Black women. And third, I think that women are people. Let's just talk about it. Women are people. People need respect. People need respect. And why are they treated like they're less than me because they're women, you know? I think that's really, you know, I think it's stupid that we think less of them because they're women. That's not something that should be. That should not be the case. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. You know, again, I go back. We go back to the human element of being able to listen to one another. You know, listening not with our ears or our eyes, but with our heart. I'm always hearing these words that people use and try to, you know, devalue women.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you got that leadership from your mom, that strength.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my mom, I'd be on the street right now. Just keeping it real. I would not be on the way to success. I would be in a gang. I'd be on the street, you know. I'd be hanging out with I wouldn't last very long in the street. You know, you can't talk to everyone the way you think you can. You know, like you think you bad. You know, somebody pop off at you, then it's all over. So thank God. I'm telling you, if it wasn't from my mom, from that strong Black woman that I was raised by, I don't know where I'd be.
Some people are responding to the things that you're saying. But yeah, I hear you, man.
Well, I need to test your knowledge.
I want to test your knowledge. You're striving to get a PhD, right?
That's the goal. That PhD is the goal.
Now we have a thing called, it's called Name Those People. You're about to get tested. Here we go. You ready?
All right, bring it on.
It's really simple. Just name people.
It's real simple. Just name that person.
That's Mike Tyson.
Who's Mike Tyson? Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Right, Mike Tyson. Some people may not know that Mike Tyson's first name is Michael.
He was a bad man.
He was a bad man on this planet.
Yeah. Yes. That's Halle Berry. That's my girlfriend, you know.
What?
That's the girl. Yes, she is. She's famous. Yes.
Yeah. Famous actress, model. So yeah, you got it.
Why?
Some people don't realize she's also hard of hearing. Yeah, she's my former wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I got nothing. This one you got.
It's Michael Hagan. He's deaf. Disability advocate. He's many, many things. That brother is a runner, a marathon runner. And I tell you what, his feet are only running. Deaf consultant. He was on TEDx. Man, this brother is proud to be deaf.
What are you talking about?
Man, this brother is on that same page what you're talking about. You know, that level of psychology. And
this is Dr. Black. Oh, Dr. Oh, the name.
You're close.
It was. I was like, I knew she was Black Doctor or something.
She was one of the first deaf Black women to get her PhD. She's a bad sister.
Yes, yeah. Right. Yes. Oh man, if you hear her do a presentation, I swear, man, get chills. I don't know if you can hear me, but this interpreter is saying that the screen is freezing up. Oh, now we're back.
Most people know him.
Most people know him as Wawa. He's Warren Snipe, actor, writer, rapper.
Just recently in the show.
He was recently in a show. Black Lightning, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you going back with this one. Oh, I'm terrible.
She is a famous dancer, actress, choreographer. List goes on. This is an important woman to know. She's changed my life.
Grey Anatomy.
You ever watch the show Grey Anatomy?
Was she on that?
She plays Harvey's mom.
Oh.
Yeah, Debbie Allen.
Yeah. What's
Wow.
Yep, she was the wife on another show as well.
So hard.
This one's a hard one.
So much time we got. You want to go?
Come on now.
Oh man, I didn't think you were gonna get this one.
It's Rosa. It's Rosa. She my heart.
She's a civil rights activist. She was part of the boycott.
Trying to make a move.
They tried to make her move on that bus, but she was tired.
Let's talk about strong black women right there, and even from way back then, still.
You have to know these people.
You got to know these people.
Lord, she's very influential in the deaf community, and her name, I can't recall it. Right now she has a mohawk, I think. I saw her recently.
Yep,
Michelle. This is her sign name.
Yes, that's right.
Deaf actress, living in DC, award-winning director, producer, choreographer. She's inspirational. There's a show that Girlfriends back in the day. So it was amazing to see it on that show. She was also on a show called Soul Food.
Oh yeah, Soul Food. Yeah. I saw her on that. I remember on that. Girl, Serena Williams. Why you got to even ask?
Wait a minute. Well, we have to fix that.
Oh, and then he was wrong on the top.
Yeah. Yes.
Forgive me, Serena Williams. Forgive me, all the Williams family. Yes, Serena Williams. She's an American professional tennis player. I think she's won 24 Grand Slams, I think.
She just won one.
Yeah, she just won. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Man, I'm impressed that you knew these people.
Take the opportunity now.
So I want to give the opportunity to our audience to ask some questions.
Sure, I'm an open book.
Okay, people.
All right, anyone watching? I know many of you guys were just that fire. You were holding on to those questions.
Let people talk.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let the people talk. Nah, I'm done. So it's you, audience members.
How do you identify yourself?
The question is, how do you identify yourself? Deaf, hard of hearing? Didn't you feel peer pressure going to Gallaudet by being a hard of hearing individual?
I would be offended if you called me hard of hearing. I would actually be offended and identify as deaf. So much.
Oh my God, so much eye drops per semester. Someone texted me asking Rodney, did you not want to pursue being an NFL player?
I do.
Yeah, you did? Is that a goal of yours?
Yeah. Maybe not precisely the NFL, but I do plan on playing professional football.
You're going to go for your PhD and pursue being a professional?
I don't know. I'm 22 years old, so I got a lot of life ahead of me, I don't know. Football is a small part of it, and then I've got these little pieces I put together, and what I want to do is put all of those together to add up and to influence people in a positive way with all these skills I have.
Yeah, man. Great.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Yep, I agree with that. People do deserve respect. I feel like that respect is something that you deserve. And I feel like, and I can't choose to respect you. It's something that I feel like, for example, when I just met Antoine, we have that mutual respect, you know, and if you have to do something to actually make me lose my respect, I have to actually do something that would make you lose my respect, and then that's on me if I make you lose respect for me. I see myself 10 years from now being a father or rich or
Wait. Father, and what was the other one?
rich. Yes, father or rich or both.
Or why or?
So having a family, I can't really focus. You can't really focus on money. You can't. I want to be able to teach my kids about life. I want to be able to teach them, my kids, about how to be good people. And I don't want to wait until you can't wait until they're teenagers, you know, and then they have a big crisis because I wasn't there. I have to be there from the beginning. You know, my parents didn't do that to me, so I'm never going to do that to my kids. My mom gave up her job as a big time lawyer to raise me and spend time with me, so we get to know each other and look out for me. And my family was all about sacrifice, and I'm more than willing to sacrifice to make these choices for my family too. I'll sacrifice making a lot of money, but if I don't have a family, then who am I?
I get you. If you ain't got a family, you're gonna chase that bread. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel like I have to, you know.
You know, right now you're young.
Start making your bag now.
Yeah, so make sure that you're packing that bag for that family.
Yeah, generational wealth. Generational wealth.
Yeah, that generational wealth.
I'm looking into properties now. I'm looking into investments, stocks maybe. I did have some time doing a little stock trading. I did, you know, dabble in that a little bit.
I strongly suggest. You know, people wait until after they have a family and then start to think, oh, I think it's time to save. But having a family costs money. Diapers cost money. Clothes cost money. Family costs money. Supporting your wife costs money. So make sure you're saving that paper now.
I don't need to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't need to tell you all that.
Yes.
People say, oh, black people dance, but I don't.
You know, there's that stereotype that all black people can dance. So, you know.
No.
So can you dance?
Yes. I went to the 27th MBDA and I danced my A off. I'm just gonna tell you.
Really?
What you got now?
What you got now? Come on, let's see.
I'm gonna show you some moves.
Oh, no, we're gonna make you show those moves.
That's my secret move.
You know you can dance, yeah? I'm like, wait, what?
Nope, that's my secret move. Shh. You have to see it to believe it. Come on. You sing Rodney, then you see me, I'll be down there, I'll be dancing. But those are secret moves for now.
There's a message. Do you think that there'll be a Deaf U season 2?
What do I think about Deaf U season 2?
The question is about, do you think that there'll be a season 2? And what do you think it should look like? How should it be produced?
Black women, like we said. We
and that black women. Yo, Deaf U, can you hear us? Hide those black women.
Yeah, come on, gotta be. I don't think that they're understanding the essence of a black woman, you know, and the essence.
You know, honestly,
Too much power to come.
I think it's too much power to have those black women on the front of the screen. I think they're saving that for later.
But you know what? Power.
You know, there could be so much black women power in that show. It would be it would inspire people to watch the show, to produce a season 3, and produce a season 4.
And so forth, and so on and so forth.
History shows.
You know, history shows that black women are often ostracized. You don't see them much in the museum. And we're hard on black women.
Recognize
it's important that we recognize it's happening here in America.
Yeah.
We need to uplift our black women.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mama. We need to uplift.
Another message.
So here's another message for you. Wow, we can say
that for another day.
For another day.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Not now.
Other people are
Is there anybody else that would like to ask a question? We only got a few minutes left.
Come on.
Another one.
Oh, I think another question popped up.
Yeah, so this is kind of a personal question.
This is a bit of a personal question. Answer it how you see fit. Are you single?
Hey
man, it's not. The people are.
Single.
Single now.
Somebody asked if you were single now.
Look cool. I don't see.
Cool. So I don't see any more questions. I think a lot of people had the opportunity to learn about you today. I know I did. I didn't know anything about you. Oh.
Yes. I am studying criminal justice.
See.
Criminal justice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, criminal justice.
Not as a major, not anything like that, but I am communicating with my mom. My mom is a former lawyer, and so she knows a lot about how the court system works. And so I'm just wondering, you know, about how does it work? And eventually my goal is to be able to protect people. That's to protect people, especially Black people, you know, who are targeted by the cops. And the system is not for us. The system is against us. But I will say this as well. The system should be for the people. We give the wrong people the power. So I want to just, you know, give the right person the power so that the system can be structured more appropriately. So when we have a system where that person already has a bias against a Black person, then the system will have a bias against the Black person and against Black people in general. So the system itself is pretty broken. So we gave the wrong people the power. And so that's what I've noticed. And like, for example, Antoine, suppose we're sitting down, we're free, right? We're free people, right? And Black people often argue with, like, you understand what I'm talking about? But in terms of the system, we're free. So you are free to slam me in the face, right? But the system says that you have, the justice has to be served for that thing that you do. Now, if that's between us, you know, the proper punishment would be for you to slap me back or me to slap you back. So suppose I was another guy who had a bias against you. I would punch you in the face. So we give biased people the power of that punch. Do you see the difference? It's that imbalance, and that's what I think is the problem.
I'm always hitting people. So
I'm always against violence.
All right, I know you. That was just an example. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up violence here.
No, I'm hearing you though. I'm just, you know, I'm just against violence. That violence approach. You know what I mean?
you talk crap about me.
You can talk crap about me.
I have holy water.
I got that holy water on you. Now throw that holy
All right,
water.
yes, yes. All right, have that power.
Get that devil out of you. But yeah, but I get the conversation. And then I would sit down and ask, why are you attacking me? Why are you attacking me? You know, what did I do wrong? And that you're right, though. We are giving the power to the wrong people. You know, in America, it's already, it's not built. The power is not built for POC people. You know, things were already built in place, the system, and that system has been pervasive.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's hope for us to lead and to get that control?
Sure. Yeah. I know some people feel like, you know, there's no hope. It's not that.
There's hope for us, right? Black POC people.
It will happen. It will happen. Like I'm saying, you see that. Okay, so look at our culture. People love our culture. They love Black people. They love rap. They love hip hop. The first people who made this country are Black people, right? So look at it this way. If fashion, the fashion world, you know, oh, Black man got some fashion sense, all of these things. I'm telling you, we have it all already. It's just a matter of time. Honestly, I'm being honest with you. It's just a matter of time before we take that.
So the question is, there's a question from the audience. When do we say, as people, say, we don't want your system? We're going to over here and create our own. The Chinese have been able to do it. Can we do the same here?
That's a good question. That's deep. I always believe that Black people have the power to create their own system. I believe we do. But by the same token, what you said, the Chinese run a different society than us. It's very, very different. It's very, very strict. It's very judgmental. It's maybe not educated enough on their system and their society. So I don't want to speak too much on it because of that. But I do see what you're talking about. And suppose if I see this system that's perfect and I'm like, yes, it's right for Black people, then I'm 100% supportive of us creating our own system that works for us.
You know, first of all, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, allowing people to know you. You know, a lot of people have this, you know, deaf you vision and see you as a cast member. You know, are you on other shows as well?
No.
You know, I think it's important, critical we listen to our Black people. We want to hear your story.
Come over here.
That's what it was like, you know, come over here. You know, it wasn't trying to be your friend. It was trying to know who you are, listen to you. So I understand you, brother. You know, I hope people who are watching this are listening to you. You know, it's amazing to hear your pursuit, your support for other people. I really appreciate everything that you shared with us.
Chinese here in America.
Oh, Chinese is here in America, yeah.
Chinese here in America. Are you speaking of the Chinese? Oh, so now I think I get your point. As the Chinese community is kind of an insular community, created their own system. But that's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard. I'm sorry, but it's hard for our people. It's hard for our people because of the system. And that's why we're so frustrated with each other. That was we get frustrated with each other. We've done things like get involved with gangs and.
Yeah, I understand, you know, where you're going. You know, the fact with society, you know, going back to what you said in the beginning about the system, it's not made for us.
Behind the game.
Also, this, you know, the directors behind the game is like individuals playing a video game. You know, they want to show that.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. You remember a long time, President Ronald Reagan, remember back in the day, when crack cocaine was an epidemic there, it blew up. And then crack addicts, they were black people. All them black people are crack addicts. And if you look at statistics for that time period, there were more white people addicted to crack than there were black people. And it was all put on us. So they wanted to represent us as those black people, those crackheads. And they sent people to projects and, you know, would say, look at the crackheads here. They would paint the housing projects for them to still live in them and call crackheads. And so that's what I mean. The way the system is to be against us. It's designed that way from the beginning. And it gives the power to the wrong people. It gives the power to the people who represent us negatively.
Yeah, I see you going. So I'm going to, you know, bringing it back to that analogy of controller playing the video game, you know, lining up the different characters, designing them. You know, I want to play a black man. He's faster. You know, they're alive to be violent and kill. You know what's really funny? You know, real life video game. Who's faster, white or black?
Yeah.
You know, but maybe flip it. In real life, actually, the white man might actually be, you know, faster. You know, basketball, football, military. You know, black people are aiming to survive.
Man, black culture, but they don't want.
You know, many people really, you know, want to adapt to that culture. We want to absorb that culture. But there's so much tension. You know, I have that respect for the Chinese community. You know, they're facing a different challenge. You know, they're facing racism as well. Indigenous people, they're facing racism. Mexican folks, I mean, it's pervasive. You know, we got to fight for our BIPOC individuals, fight against racism. So it's just like what your shirt said. I'm with that. Still black, still proud. It doesn't matter where you are, if you've fallen or if you're thriving. And I stand with you. I'm proud as well.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom, for allowing you to come out here today.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your questions.
All right, brother. Peace.
You
out, man. I love
Thank you. Have a good day. Peace out.
Wow. Wow. We're a little bit over time. What an incredible show. There's not enough words that can describe what we had today. Thank you, my brother, for coming. I didn't know what to expect for this episode of Deaf Woke.
Deaf Woke journey.
You know, that Deaf Woke journey.
Yeah. It's well, journey as a man, journey as a deaf person.
Really, journey as a man, as a deaf person. No, there's this problem, but we all have these different type of problems, you know? This show, Deaf Woke, is raw. We don't get enough Black representation to tell their story. Rodney was here. You know, it's important that people in this listen to his story.
I just want to say thank you all for coming to watch.
I want to say thank you all for coming to watch.
Appreciate it.
Very much appreciated.
Hey, thank you for people who support us.
Thank you for people who support the organization. Well, that was abrupt.
Thank you.
Thank you to Hall Round.
Show on their website too.
We're going to be sharing their website. So we appreciate your support.
Remember to vote.
Remember to vote. It's not over yet. Remember to vote. Deadline is not passed yet, so please vote, vote, vote. So as you can see in the corner, this organization, Drop Labs, it's a shoe that vibrates. Y'all got to get y'all shoes. Must. It's a must. They're a wonderful support, backing us. I got mine. Where's yours? Thank you to Urban Jazz Dance Company. Many of the staff who've donated their time. I really much appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the International Association of Blacks in Dance. Thank you for your strong support. Thank you so much for all the people who are watching. How about my interpreters? Where y'all at? Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sacrificing your time. Oh, virtual hugs. Peace. Okay. I just want to say thank you. There's so many people texting me, telling me that they love the show. And oh, thank you. You all have a good night. Oh, you know what? My final thought. You are beautiful. You're beautiful every day. You're beautiful on a wonderful day. You're beautiful on an ugly day. You are beautiful when you're doing things right. You are beautiful even if you're making mistakes. You are beautiful. You know, when you're on your journey and you're making your mistakes, I hope those mistakes are a reflection of your growth. Thank you for watching. This is Antoine PurpleFireCrow. Deaf Woke. Whew. Peace, love. I'm out.